For Telesur, I'm Cody Weddle in Caracas, Venezuela. We begin in Syria and Turkey, where the besieged town of Kobani on the Turkish border has a window of opportunity to recharge against the Islamic State onslaught. The U.S.-led coalition finally joined in the fight after citizens there had been battling IS fighters for 3 weeks. The airstrikes have pushed IS fighters back to the edges of Kobani. Turkey had pledged to help the largely Kurdish population in the border town, but a week has gone by with no action from Ankara. Many accuse Turkey of siding with the Islamic State in order to diminish the number of Kurdish resistance fighters. Fury over Turkey's inaction in helping Kobani has sparked protests throughout the Kurdish community this week. That's especially the case in Turkey, where 18 people have died in demonstrations demanding the powerful Turkish military step in and help the town. Parts of Europe have also seen protests in support of the population of Kobani. Peaceful demonstrations in Germany briefly brought train traffic to a halt. Demonstrators also gathered on the steps of France's Congress building, hoping to grab politicians' attention. Some Kurds living in Europe are not only protesting, but returning to the area sometimes referred to as Kurdistan to fight. That's the area spread over Syria, Iraq, Turkey, and Iran. While Kurds tend to be moderate Sunni Muslims with secular politics, one notable feature of their struggle against the Islamic State group has been the recruitment of determined female fighters. And we turn now to Mexico, where civilian self-defense militias have taken charge in the search for the missing students in the state of Guerrero. The Army and federal police took over the search earlier this week, citing collusion between the local police and drug cartels. Despite the federal intervention, some 500 people have come together to accelerate the search for the students after a mass grave containing 28 bodies was found Saturday. In Bolivia, strong support continues for incumbent Evo Morales ahead of Sunday's presidential elections. Many attribute the high level of support to huge social investment achievements under Morales' administration. Those include health care improvements and welfare payments for school children and pensioners. The social spending has led to surging popularity for President Morales among poorer sections of society. Bolivia's economy has also seen a doubling of its GDP between 2005 and 2011. Salaries are also on the rise. Construction worker Rover Vallero is a case in point.
Before, master builders earned around 60, 70, or 80 Bolivianos per day. They earn more now. They say that this daily rate has risen since President Evo Morales came to power. For this reason, construction workers are making more.
And while Bolivia's campaigning is coming to an end, Brazil's has started again after Sunday's first round, where incumbent Dilma Rousseff won nearly 42% of the votes. Ousted candidate Marina Silva has provisionally thrown her weight behind Sunday's runner-up, Aécio Neves, who shares some of the neoliberal policies Silva embraced in the campaign. On to Venezuela now, where President Nicolás Maduro said yesterday that he will announce further details around the grisly murder of Congressman Robert Serra. Also in Venezuela, the nation's parliament voted to declare former Colombian President Álvaro Uribe Vélez persona non grata for his role in fomenting destabilization in the Caribbean nation. For more now on the situation in Venezuela, we go to our correspondent Rachel Boothroyd here in Caracas.
Here in Venezuela, the government continues its investigations into the murders of Venezuelan legislator Robert Serra and his partner Maria Herrera. And now last night, Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro stated that he would soon reveal the identities of those who had carried out the assassinations. Now, what we have to bear in mind is that almost as soon as the murders were announced, the Venezuelan authorities have treated the case as one in which hired assassins were used. And so the names that we are expecting to hear revealed by Maduro refer to those who physically carried out the murder and do not refer to those who planned and financed it. Now, last night, Maduro also confirmed that 48 hours after the murders of Serra and Herrera, An attempt was made on the life of another political leader within the Bolivarian Revolution, although he did not give further details. We'll do our best to keep you informed as to any future developments. My name's Rachel Boothroyd, reporting for Telesur from Caracas, Venezuela.
And thanks to Rachel. In other world news, Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta became the first ever sitting president to appear before the International Criminal Court Wednesday. He's seeking an acquittal on charges of crimes against humanity. While at The Hague, Kenyatta left his country in the hands of Vice President William Ruto, also facing charges for his part in deadly post-election violence in 2007 and 2008, which became part of the worst unrest since Kenya's independence in 1963. Due to Nairobi's non-cooperation, the prosecution admitted Wednesday it does not have the ammunition to go further with Kenyatta's charges. The African Union calls for the case to be transferred to Kenyan courts, accusing the ICC of targeting Africans. Displaced victims of the violence 8 years ago responded to the case.
Ikiwa kabisa hawana ushahidi, jambo tunalouliza, tumeona hapa wanasema ya kwamba ati serikali ya Kenya.
If it is true that they do not have any evidence against these two high-profile people, it will be very sad. They keep on saying that the Kenyan government has refused to cooperate and give evidence.
Hata kabla Uhuru akuwe president.
On to Hong Kong now, where an agreement has been reached for negotiations between the government and protesters, despite dwindling demonstrations. The talks should start Thursday and will reportedly aim to address concerns that have brought tens of thousands of people onto the streets over the past few months. Constitutional reform will be on the talks' agenda.
That is the target date, tomorrow 4 p.m. But it is there are some requirements, because if we can't find any place to hold a meeting, there may be some difficulties. So there are lots of difficulties ahead. We hope that we can solve it as soon as possible, so that we can have the meeting.
And finally, if you're planning a vacation, come join us here in Latin America. 4 of the 14 cities chosen as finalists for the new 7 Wonders competition are here, showing that not only does the region boast a phenomenal array of wildlife and natural beauty, but that its culture and architecture can also be lauded. Havana, Cuba, Quito, Ecuador, Mexico City, and Bolivia's La Paz are all in the running for the competition voted for by the public. So get to voting. The 7 winners will be declared in December. More on those stories and others at our website, telesurtv.net/English. For Telesur English, I'm Cody Weddle.